All right, students, welcome back. It's Monday the 18th, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about this week's assignments, for you know, for you, the screencast. We're gonna, you're gonna have one assignment submission, and two discussion posts. So we're gonna go over what those are gonna look like. So 3 days. I have it split up, but you can do it however you want. First, check in and developing your character. So let's look at that. So day one today, respond to the check-in prompt in this week's community folder, and then review the following slides to prepare for this week's assignments and discussion posts. Reminder. So as we get into character, which is this week is the focus. Last week we did setting and literary devices, and some other creative writing activities. Remember some of the things we've talked about with character. We've gone over this. There's direct characterization, indirect characterization. This is the process by which the writer reveals the personality of the character. So you really want to reveal what this character is like, using all your awesome, incredible writing talent and skills and strategies. Remember, it's boring to tell the reader, right, the patient boy, the quiet girl. Instead, we want to use indirect characterization, right? We want to show the personality. We want to be descriptive. We want to look at the internal. We want to make it interesting for the readers, okay? And you guys have, read this from How Some Men Go Street. Let's look at another example. So when you're developing this character, you did setting last week, so try to incorporate the context, right? So what is the context? What is the background of this character? What is the history behind the character? So not only is there descriptive language and monologue, but what kind of things have influenced the character? So I want you to start thinking about the character's history. What they have siblings? Would they come from a poor, or are they poor or rich? Where they live in the mountains or by the ocean or in the middle of the, in the desert. So think about these kinds of things. And so, like, for instance, when we look at Marvel, when we crack open a novel, the main character's current overarching goal is the reason the story exists for us to read. However, a believable character is not one that has burst into being on page one. A compelling character will have external influences and a past that informs their present and the crux of their internal journey. So we are going to be talking about the goal of your character, but remember, you want to build what are the forces that caused this character to want to achieve this goal. So consider Magneto of the X-Men. He's a villain who believes that mutants are superior to humankind and should therefore dominate. However, a look into Magneto's past reveals that he was born into a German Jewish family during the Holocaust, and that their abhorrent treatment by the Nazis lead him to believe that humankind and conflicts are inseparable. Therefore, in response, it becomes his goal to protect the mutant race from experiencing similar atrocities at all costs. So we could think about him as a villain, right? But Marvel did a great job of showing the multiple sides of this character, and that way we actually become more invested. We start to think that this character, we actually can relate to this character, even though it's a villain. So you want to show that complexity, that dynamism in your characters. Use the character setting and timeline sheet to get to know your character. Figure out your character's internal and physical characteristics to make them unique. So now you're creating your character. The first thing, you're just going to do some sketching, some brainstorming. What is the name of your main character? List 3 things about that character's physical characteristics or personality traits. Fill in the blank with, although my character, is angry, they blah 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 blah. Since my character struggles with, like in Magneto's case, humans, they are like this. If my character wouldn't have this thing, then what would they be like? What would the implications of that be? So take some time to kind of think about the internal and some of the physical characteristics of your character and write them down. Then consider the setting. What is the physical world, the time of the action, the character's social environment? So tie that in. Look at these two links to give you some ideas and inspiration for developing the setting that your character will occupy, or the settings, right, that your character will occupy. Then you're going to fill out the second part to this sheet, which is going to ask you about the place, time, and social setting that your characters your character, okay, is struggling, things that the character is dealing with. So, for instance, you're just going to draw a picture of the main setting if you like. You can write some stuff in that box. You're going to describe your setting, the time, the place, and the environment. Okay. All right. And then using the character setting and timeline sheet, there's a second page. That page, you want to start to put down a timeline of events. And it looks like this screenshot is a little weird. I thought I fixed the bullets, so there just should be a bullet per line, but you can make your own bullets in there. So determine events that have shaped your character and that motivate them. The first part, you don't need to do that in order. Okay, so that very first part, you just write down the stuff. But the second part, see that box at the bottom? What I want you to do is put the events in order. And I actually added another part to this. Sorry about that. The screenshot doesn't show it. Where I said you could do like a plot diagram. You can do a story mountain, something in this space to show that, or you can just do a list of the events of your story. Okay? So you really want to try here to start outlining the important events in your character's life. So specifically focusing on what are the events in your character's life that have shaped them, that they struggle with. And remember, you want to have some kind of goal, okay, that the character's trying to achieve. So what are the struggles that they face and what order those struggles happen? If you're beginning stages of building a character and haven't picked a name yet, I have this little character name generator, so you can look at that too. Then you'll submit your work. This is an assignment. You guys, I think some of you have done this already. But anyways, here's some instructions to do that. It should be pretty straightforward, but I'll try to answer any questions if you have any. Okay? Then day 2, literary devices. So we're going to go back. You're going to learn about 2 literary devices. Like last time, we talked about the difference between literary elements. So we just talked a little bit about setting and character. But now we're going to talk about these literary devices, and you can incorporate these in your descriptions, in your writing, right? And so synecdoche, this is a part. What is it? A part represents or stands in for the whole. So all hands on deck, or new set of wheels. Why use it? You can refer to complicated concepts or large groups with a single word and create a quick mental image. All right? Or metonymy. What is it? Referencing something by naming something associated with it. The pen is mightier than the sword. The written word is stronger than violence. Like synecdoche, you can refer to complicated concepts or large groups with a single word and create a quick mental image. So let's think about it. It can be very difficult to tell them apart, but don't stress about it. Let's take a look. Barack Obama gave a speech that said, "We can not only have a plan for Wall Street, we must also help Main Street." Which sounds much nicer than, "We can not only have a plan for wealthy bankers and moneyed financial institutions, we must also help the average person who is more likely to live in a small town and not own a yacht." So, is it a metonymy or synecdoche? Think about it, okay, and then get back to me. All right. Yeah. So we could argue either. So on one hand, remember going back, all right, you can think about it like referencing something by naming something associated with it, or we could also think about it like a part represents or stands in for the whole, like all hands on deck. I want you to play with this week, okay? Write your own examples of synecdoche and metonymy using complete sentence. You can either write 2 separate examples, or you can link them together. Write your description on the literary device practice discussion board. And then bonus would be to draw a picture of what you wrote for one or all of the literary devices, just like last week. Then the step 2 is this discussion post, which I'm really excited about. For this post, you'll be stepping into the role of your character and answering a series of prompts to develop them further. So you must complete and submit your character creation sheet and timeline before completing this step. And I think I said, so there's actually going to be more. There's actually 4 posts this week. So, right, you have that, literary device, and then this is the third thing. And so basically, I have a series of prompts where I want you speaking from your character. You must complete and submit your character creation sheet and timeline before completing this step, okay? All right. Interior monologue, last thing. So nailing down your character's fundamental goal, right? I've been trying to focus on this, is the thing that is truly important to them that they must strive for and face obstacles to achieve will help you see what is driving them right now and why their story is worth telling at this moment in their lives. Having an internal goal for your protagonist will help create tension within your story and a narrative arc, okay? And this will also help your character come off as dynamic and interesting. So, you establish a goal. Then, after you establish that goal, characters' fundamental goals, you will need to, and their struggles, you will need to use your powerful writing skills to show, not tell their story. Be sure to use a variety of techniques to effectively provide depth and context to your character's struggles so that the reader invests in them. Use indirect characterization. Speech, action, impact on others, and feelings and thoughts are going to be your strong ways to communicate and engage your reader. So, can you use speech? Okay, dialogue, actions. What are the behaviors of your character? How does your character impact others? And what are the feelings and thoughts? What are they thinking? What are they feeling? Okay, please use these when trying to do your interior monologue. Actually labeled it as interior monologue or scene. It's really the same idea. The idea is you will need to create a monologue, 1 to 2 paragraphs, that expresses the character's inner thoughts. You need to use indirect characterization to show these thoughts. Your interior monologue must effectively do one of the following, okay? So you're going to either introduce your character or you're going to show how the character deals with a tough situation. So you can call it a scene, it's fine. The main thing is you're using indirect characterization to show us the character's inner thoughts. You're going to show us, and you're either going to introduce your character or show how they deal with this tough situation. Pro tip, consider this as an opportunity to draft the introduction to your character or describe a tough situation that you can actually incorporate into your story. So this activity is not, it is an exercise, it is a practice, but I do want you thinking about your story. You just spent time building a character, putting down some events in your character's life. Now you could actually consider this a portion of your story. I don't want to put pressure. You can just do it as practice, but this could be a great opportunity for you to crush some of your writing that you want to do for your story. Okay, these are the things to think about. That's a wrap, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you're going to come up with this week. Have fun with it. All right, bye.